Okay, today is August the 30th, 2016, and we're looking at the northeast Pacific water vapor loop. And we have two hurricanes approaching Hawaii. We have Madeline. This is a strong Category 2 storm. I believe the winds are at 110 miles per hour right now. This storm was a Category 3 earlier today with 125 mile per hour winds briefly, and then it diminished to 120 mile per hour winds. And now we're at 110 mile per hour winds as this storm approaches the Big Island. You can see that both of these storms have been surrounded by a transmitter, one transmitter per storm. We can see the outline around each one of these storms. And also this one here is starting to receive the attention of a transmitter. This is being isolated because this could easily become a hurricane. This storm has a blast pattern visible on it, as does this one. And also this storm has been targeted all day. But the main concern for these weather controllers is putting on a show. This will be knocked down as it approaches the islands. I think they will run it right over the island just to maintain a confidence game rather than steer it around the island like they did with every single hurricane last season. If you look at my videos from last June, July, and August and September, not a single hurricane was run right over the islands. They blew them apart at the last second. I believe there was only one hurricane that they allowed to get very close to the island. They blew it apart. The rest of them were steered around the islands using the same techniques we're seeing here. They surround the islands in this case with high pressure, and then these storms have nowhere to go but around the high pressure. Okay, so that may be the strategy. We'll have to wait and see what they do. They can do anything they want. We've seen that over and over in these videos. They have complete control over our weather. But they don't want us to know that, and one of the ways they can do that is to allow this storm to go right over the island, and they may do just that. But they'll blow it apart. They'll knock it down at the last second, and that's what we've seen that with, as they say, Hurricane Patricia and a few other storms. All right, so right now, in the foothills of Los Angeles, we have a temperature of 75 degrees at 10:15. I think I mentioned that. 64% humidity, relative humidity. We've got a dew point of 62 degrees and the barometer is 29.92. I think I just mentioned that. All right. Let's take a look at some of these other maps. We have the Hawaii map. We can see this storm is moving right along the 20-degree latitude towards the islands. We've got a very strong blast pattern. Also, we see some shock waves right here. Let's take a look at the infrared loop. We can see the color change. When the core is hit, we see a color change from a deep red to a sort of a yellowish red, and the storm rebuilds. This is a very large thunderstorm over here as well. That storm is also being hit. We can see the blast right there on the last couple of frames. Here's the visible light mode. We can see some Photoshop overlay right here. They're hiding the microwave blasts as that storm moves closer and closer to the islands. I think they're going to run this right over the top of the Big Island. Okay, now here's a larger shot of the Central Pacific. We can see all three storms. This is Hurricane Lester. This is the Category 4 storm. Let's take a look at these stats on Lester right now. Right here we have Lester with 140 mile per hour winds. That storm is moving due west at 13 miles per hour and has a core pressure of 948 millibars. All right. Okay, we'll keep an eye on both of those. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do. Also, we have right angles visible in this right up here in that corner, and then right down here, you see evidence of manipulation going on. This is a surface, mid, and upper level low pressure system. Okay, so back to the other maps, we can see all the blast patterns are very clearly shown up there on that map. Blast pattern there. There's no question they're hitting that storm with microwave or possibly laser. The fact is, these are being superheated, and that's what disrupts the organization of the storm. This could also be done with some sort of a plasma directed energy type method. It's probably being done with microwave because water vapor reacts very well to microwave, certain frequencies of microwave. Here's the Central Pacific. You can see the isolation. These are both surrounded with transmitters. This one here is being worked on as well. This will be isolated from the thunderstorm activity. That the isolation prevents all this moisture from merging with these storms. So that's why they do that. Now we have the SSEC water vapor map. We can see a lot of the chemtrails in the core of this low pressure system right off of the west coast. This system is supposed to drop down and bring cooler temperatures. We have a tail of moisture from Hurricane Madeline that has been moving into northern and central California the last couple of days. You can see a lot of chemtrails being sprayed here. That'll prevent the rain. There is no rain up in this area. I contacted some people up in the northern area of California. There's just a lot of clouds. We can also see chemtrails down here being sprayed, mainly all through here. This has actually some clockwise rotation. The core of this should be moving uniformly in a clockwise manner. We have very strong high pressure here. We can see the all that clockwise rotation, which is disrupting this system. Here's the ocean swell report for those two storms, those two hurricanes. We have Lester right here, which is generating 40-foot swells in the near the eye wall, and Madeline with 33-foot swells. Okay, let's look at the other maps here. We have the sea level pressure map, and we see that area of high pressure, which is perpetually installed in the eastern Pacific. And we have this low up here, which is supposed to drop down and bring a little bit cooler weather. We have a low indicated over Nevada and part of Utah and part of eastern California. And this is that sea level to upper level low right up here. That'll be blocked by all this high pressure. All right, now the next is the 500 millibar. We can see that we've got mid and upper level low here. Same thing here. We've got all this high pressure through here, and that is blocking a lot of that. Well, that's maintaining very dry and hot temperatures for Southern California. We had 99-degree weather today in the San Gabriel Valley and also the San Fernando Valley, varying between 97 and 102 in different places. So we had very hot temperatures. From this manipulation, we've got high pressure installed. If we go back to the big map again, we can see that right here. And this is producing very dry, hot temperatures, despite the fact that we have a moisture tail from Madeline, which moved into central and northern California yesterday. We had a lot of chemtrails reported, not only in Southern California, but all up and down the state. The high pressure will maintain or prevent any further southbound. This moisture field will not be allowed to drop down any further south. So they've got this area pretty well dried out. This is a stationary high pressure system right here, which has been installed, and that will prevent this moisture down here from moving north. We've got a thunderstorm system right over Mexico, right there, being blown apart. And all that monsoonal flow is moving out to the northeast because of all this. This has been installed to prevent any of this weather from getting into California. All right. We have the surface analysis map. Again, we see that area of high pressure here. This is a low pressure system that should drop down and bring cooler water. We've got a cold front indicated here and various low pressures indicated over the west coast of California. All right, well, I think I've covered just about everything. Main thing is that we're going to keep an eye on Madeline, which is right here. I think they're going to run this right over the top of that island to maintain their confidence game. I hope. I hope nothing bad happens. It may be that they run this to the north. I don't think they're going to run it to the south because we've got all this moisture down here. Once they move these to the north, if they do, they may get caught in a current back towards the west coast. That is very possible. We have some jet stream flow right here, but that is being interrupted by a transmitter right here. We can see the moisture field that is being disrupted. We see a lot of evaporation right here. That is the jet stream moisture flow. So if these are steered north, they will eventually get caught up in a eastbound flow back towards the west coast. Anyway, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I think they're going to have to blow these apart completely, and we'll just keep an eye on them. That's all we can do. I don't know exactly what their plan is going to be. Like I say, they may just run that right over the islands, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. They'll blow it apart, though. They won't destroy. There's a lot of military assets on these islands, so they will probably knock this down at the last second. That's my prediction. Okay, we'll just leave it right here, and we'll do another update tomorrow.